Does this mean that they're back, that China's back? What numbers are we talking about?
I mean, they're switching back and forth because, I mean, the amount that they actually import, if you look at the metric on a per-day basis, millions of barrels per day, is actually quite close, right? So this is what you have as far as June is concerned. 7.2 million for China, just under 7.1 million for the U.S. Now, China basically overtook the U.S. in April. They lost the crown, if you will, in May, and then they regained it back. Now, it's not necessarily a good thing, right? Because we know that the U.S. is trying to reduce its reliance on imported energy. And, of course, for China, and China's sake, at least for China, they don't really have the resources yet, or the technology, or at least they haven't found any of these oil wells. Not that I'm saying there is, but that being said, now, when we talk about demand, that's something different in consumption, because the U.S. is still #1. I mean, we're roughly about double here the level that China needs every day. This is in millions of barrels per oil. So the U.S., that's the one here. Then you have China in, what's the color of China? Green. The rest of the world is, that's the Eurozone. The rest of the world is this, and you have Russia and Japan roughly at the same levels. Now, moving forward, obviously, you know, where do we go from here? How much does China import? A lot will depend on just a lot of things, I think, which is why it's very hard to forecast just how much China will need to import. So there's the politics of it, there's industrial production, there's GDP growth, there's the energy mix, there's auto sales, there's air travel, so on and so forth. But all this considered, you look at the trend over the past 10 years. In fact, you go all the way back 15 years ago, 1998, if I'm not mistaken. That's GDP growth. And get the next chart up, which shows you the number of how much imports. And this is in metric tons per month. So they're closing in on 30 million. 29.5 was the figure back in June. They've gone from under 8 million. In fact, go all the way back to about here. 1998.
But this is a concerted effort, isn't it? I mean, the government has this program called Strategic Petroleum Reserve, and it really seems to be all about stockpiling.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the simple way to put it. It's emergency stockpiling, if you want to call it that. It's energy security, if you want to put it that way. I mean, a few years ago, and I think it was just after or during the global financial crisis, and I'm sure they've thought this through way before that, that they wanted to increase the buffers of the economy as far as oil reserves, or at least oil stockpiles, were concerned. So what they've done is they built 4 storage facilities. That's filled up 91 million barrels. There's a second phase, which I believe, let me just get that number for you, 170 million barrels, which is the one currently that's being filled up, which is why we're seeing the spike in imports. And obviously, with oil prices still palatable, they're still importing more than they actually need per day. So we're in the second phase. The third phase is actually going to see a further 230 million barrels of capacity come online. So roughly speaking, at this point, I think if you go back a few months, we're at 37 days worth of imports, just in case something happens. 37 days, we're fine. The objective is to get that up to about 100 days worth of imports by 2020. So yes, that will be the key driver here as far as oil imports are concerned. And obviously price, elasticity, and all these other things, right?